All right, hello everybody. This is Professor T.H. Culhane from the Patel College of Global Sustainability at the U.S. University of South Florida, Tampa, with Sierra Rains, our graduate student who's doing her capstone on the precious plastics project we have here. Sierra is setting up the X-Carve, the robotic CNC router machine by Inventable. All right, so yeah, we got cut off for some reason, so we're coming back at you live. So we're Sierra's setting up for carving a plastic sign with what will be a Zapper code, which is this augmented reality code, so we can play content. This augmented reality code, so we can play content. Making signs. Eventually, we want to make our own plastic signs out of the bottle caps. And YouTube closed. I guess we're still live. So we're gonna do that, but we need a way, if we're gonna get plastic that is that good, if it's, to make this very flat surface and ultimately to make two color, so we can carve through one color and reveal the other color so that the augmented reality works. We don't have to paint it. We need to have very flat plastic. And when we tried the other day, we took bottle caps and we melted them in this oven, and we got it to, and then we took yogurt cups and melted it, and we pressed them together using this press that TR made for us from Bishop Construction Company, but it still came out really mottled and warped. But that's because we simply put the bottle caps in and melted them, and then carving kind of worked, and then it snapped the drill bit, the 1/16 inch drill bit. So it wasn't perfect. We're not able to get signs like this, which cost $5 a pop, from bottle caps yet. One of our students, Tom Camacho, figured out that if you get a NutriBullet, which has these blunt blades here, two sets of them, unlike a blender, it will shatter the bottle caps. So it worked for a while, and then it shattered the vessel. It cracked the plastic in the vessel. So I put duct tape around it, and I'm going to try it again. So I'm putting bottle caps in here so we can get a more uniform melt. That's the idea behind this. And could you hold this for a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the bottle caps in here, and I put the NutriBullet thing back. I'd love it if this was made of metal. If we could find a way to forge this out of metal that had the right screw threads, because it's going to crack through right here. That's going to break, and then it's going to be no good. But if we had that, then a NutriBullet would actually be good for shredding plastic. Whoop. Do that. Uh-oh. All right, something got caught. Let's see what happened there. Oh, not really. You never know when you're doing experiments like this. We wish we could get a proper plastic shredder. The kind like that they have in paper shredders that have the metal gears, but they cost somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000, and our little school doesn't have that. But if you want to donate a plastic shredder or the money to get one, it looks like the duct tape is holding up, which is good. So I'm getting some shredding. That's not horrible. And I want to do it one more time because I really want to get as much as I can, because I got to be able to fill this up with the goop of the plastic in order to make a sign that is 12 by 12, which is the usual sign for this machine, or at least 12 by 8. So I do a couple of runs of this. Don't try this with a blender. Like I said, NutriBullet does the right thing. Oh. You see how it cracked, and now they're all spilling out of here. Yeah, so okay, so that's interesting. So then what you do is you take cookie dough sheet, and you put it on a tray and spread your particles. Oh, gotta move the lumpy stuff. There you go, good. so it didn't shatter these. All right. And you can kind of get an idea of how thick a sign you'll get and whether it'll kind of cover the area. Still seems a bit thin to me. And then you just put it in the oven and you melt it at 350. And I think I'll start this and then I'll grind some more and then I'll add some more to it. But you take that, oh, I don't have more than one plug. Well, let's get it started and I'll deal with that in a second. Just so you at home can see, this is just a simple oven. And I'm going to set it to bake at 350 and hit start. It's going to preheat and then it'll go for about 29 minutes. We find you need to run it about twice. Somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour at 350, it melts into a goop. And then we'll lift that cookie sheet and put it in here and press it down. Try to get a nice flat surface. That is the goal of this that we're doing. So now I got to do some more bottle caps. Meanwhile, Sierra, where are you in your process?
I think it's zeroed out, so I can go ahead.
Okay, so you zeroed out. Oh, you got the X and the Y
Yeah, I think it's
coordinates. So there's that, and then if it touches there, then you know you're zeroed. So it does seem like you're zeroed there, and like yeah, it's pretty good.
okay. So then
All right, now you gotta make sure you get the dust shoe, because the plastic dust is not good for anybody to breathe.
okay, so
Take that and that, right?
yeah.
The way I do it is I take the zip tie because the magnets no longer work.
Okay.
I place it on the back of this thing. Yeah, like that. And then I put
Okay.
the shoe on, which slides in those grooves there. Yeah. And slide it through. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then I get the hose from the vacuum and I slip that in and then and that's what holds it on.
So like that.
Yeah, we still got to get up the back there
Ah, yeah.
so it stays on.
Okay.
There
like
you
that.
go. And then make sure that this is lowered so that the brushes touch the plastic. And you do that by here and there, loosening it, dropping it, and tightening it. Like
So
this.
these green things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You loosen them till the brushes touch the plastic. So it creates some kind of an air, it's a vacuum. Otherwise it's just sucking air and it won't suck up the plastic particles. But the brushes can still slide over this, usually. We hope, as it moves back and forth. Make it a little higher just because the plastic has to clear that.
Okay, so get a little higher.
But try to make the brushes just about touch if you can. Yeah, it looks good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. All right, you're good there.
So then the spindle is on.
Spindle you have to turn on. Asking the spindle's on, turn the spindle on. Okay, spindle's on. Now, turn on the vacuum. There's that one there. There's a button on the side of it. You can try to move now. Should be on the top of it somewhere. There's a red button. Yep. Good. So it's beginning to color. And so I've got this plugged into a universal power supply because this might be too much of a draw. It might kill the power, and then we can get the power back on, and this is still run. That's the theory. If you were in the middle of a car and all the power went out, like bam, and then you have to reset everything. That's why I have an uninterruptible power supply there. This goes to the top, so it started up here, and then it's going to go jig, 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 and it's going to take almost 3 hours. Right? And it shows you the progress. And that's how deep you're carving. Did you check it to make sure that the code works?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So that's good. Can you, well, you can't, it won't zap now.
Yeah, do you want to put my computer into there?
You'll have to leave your computer till it's done.
Yeah, but can I plug it into the...
Yes.
Yeah, does it make that?
Yes, yes, it does. Alright, so I have to add more to it. So that this melts, try to make a sign like this. And I'm going to have to add more bottle caps. Well, you still have some power, right?
Pardon
Can
me?
you just tape for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is too thin a layer. So I'm going to have to get some more bottle caps. We have students from the life school for disabled teens and adults, and they're excited to help in this project, so they sort these bottle caps into colors for us. So thank you, students from life school, for the effort, the labor, the time you put in to getting this uniform color, because that's one of the key problems of recycling. Recycling isn't that hard, but if you have contaminated plastic, no one's going to take it. If you have mixed plastic, it's not valuable because it's too much labor to separate. If you have plastic of the same type, like these bottle caps, but they're different colors, it lowers the value. So if you have school kids and citizens helping to sort stuff, don't buy that nonsense that recycling doesn't work and it's not worth sorting your garbage because they throw it back in the landfill anyway. Even if they do, they won't once you create a culture of value for the stuff. When you separate everything by species of plastic, 1 through 7, and then by color and type, it becomes valuable for small business people and schools and entrepreneurs who can turn it into something of value because the labor of separating it and cleaning it has already been done. So if you do your part, we can all do ours. I'm going to continue to load this up. Let me do a couple of these. Obviously, this one's cracked again. So the NutriBullet is not designed for this. If any of you out there help us want to design a NutriBullet shoe compatible thing out of metal, we would mightily appreciate it. Because that's our weak spot right now, is this thing keeps breaking up. It's not made for it. Keep putting duct tape on it. I gotta plug this in over here. Oh,
Oh no.
oh shoot. Oh shoot, okay. And it all went off. Even the, look, it's kind of still staying on because it's plugged into there.
Yeah.
The computer went out.
No, my computer I think should still be on.
No, this one came, yeah, this came off. But why?
Ah,
Because this is plugged in,
to the secure.
because the battery can't handle it, I guess. Oh, what a disaster. All right, we'll have to stop.
Yeah.
All right, we had a power failure, so we'll be back.